NCERT exercise 2. So the first question is 2.1. In this question we have to determine the number of electrons present in 1 gram electron. So mass of electron we know equals to 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. And if we have to calculate the number of electrons, then number of electrons in 1 gram will be 1 gram divided by mass of 1 electron. Mass of 1 electron is 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 30 kg. So first we have to convert gram into kilogram, and whenever we have to convert gram into kilogram, multiplication factor is 10 to the power minus 3 kg. On solving this, we'll get 1.098 into 10 to the power 27 electrons. So this is the number of electrons present in 1 gram electron. Now mass of 1 mole electron, we have to calculate mass of 1 mole electron. We know that 1 mole equals to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, and this also equals to Na, Avogadro number. So mass of 1 mole electron will be equal to mass of 1 electron into Avogadro number Na, which is equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So mass of 1 electron is 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg multiplied by Avogadro number 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. On multiplying, we'll get the value 5.486 into 10 to the power minus 7 kg. In the next part, we have to calculate charge on 1 mole electron. We have to calculate charge on 1 mole electron. We know that 1 mole equals to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So if we multiply Avogadro number with charge on 1 electron, we can get charge on 1 mole electron. So charge on 1 electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 multiplied by Avogadro number Na. This will come 9.65 into 10 to the power 4 coulomb. So the next question is question number 2.2. In this question we have to calculate how many electrons are present in 1 mole CH4. So if we see one molecule of CH4, it contains 10 electrons, 6 electron of carbon and 4 electron of hydrogen. So total number of electrons are 10. Now we have to calculate total number of electrons in 1 mole CH4. 1 mole CH4, we know that 1 mole equals to Avogadro number Na, and one molecule contains 10 electrons. So total number of electrons will be 10 Na. Value of Na is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. When we will multiply by 10, then this will become 6.022 into 10 to the power 24. In the next part of the question, we have to calculate number of neutrons in 7 milligram 14C. For that, first we have to see the molar mass or gram atomic mass of 14C. Gram atomic mass of 14C is 14 gram. Means 14 gram equals to 14,000. So 14,000 milligram contains 8 Na neutron. So using the unitary method, we can calculate number of neutron in 1 milligram. 14,000 milligram contains 8 Na neutron. Then we have to calculate the number of neutrons in 1 milligram. We will use the unitary method. 1 milligram contains 8 Na by 1000 neutron. So the 7 milligram will contain 8 Na by 1000 into 7 neutron. If we solve this, then we will get 2.4088 into 10 to the power 21 neutron. So 7 milligram will contain 2.4088 into 10 to the power 21 neutron. Now the total mass of neutron in 7 milligram. We have to calculate total mass of neutron in 7 milligram 14C. So first we have to calculate the total number of neutrons in 7 milligram 14C, that we have already calculated. And now to calculate the mass, we will take total number of neutron and then we'll multiply it with the mass of 1 neutron. So total number of neutron is 2.4088 into 10 to the power 21, and mass of 1 neutron is 1.675 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. So when we solve this, we'll get 4.0347 into 10 to the power minus 6 kg. This will be the total mass of neutron in 7 milligram 14C carbon. 14C carbon. So in the next part of the question of 2.2, we have to calculate the total number of protons present in 34 milligram ammonia. So first we have to calculate the number of moles of ammonia. Then number of moles of ammonia will be given mass upon molar mass. We have here mass in milligram. First we will convert this milligram into gram. And to convert milligram into gram, multiplication factor is 10 to the power minus 3. So 34 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram divided by the molar mass of ammonia, 17 gram per mole. 17 gram per mole. Then we will get the moles, and that mole is 34 by 17 into 10 to the power minus 3, and we know that total number of molecules equals to number of moles into Avogadro number. So from here value of Avogadro number we will write 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 and the moles of ammonia is 34 by 17 into 10 to the power minus 3. From here we can see the number of proton is coming 1.2044 into 10 to the power 21. Total number of molecules of ammonia is 1.2044 into 10 to the power 21. Now we have to calculate how many protons are there in this molecule. To calculate this, first we have to calculate how many protons are present in one molecule of ammonia. If we see ammonia contains nitrogen and hydrogen. Atomic number of nitrogen is 7, will be 10. So one molecule of ammonia contains 10 electron. So this number of molecule will contain into 10. So number of protons in one molecule will be 10, and total number of molecule we have 1.2044 into 10 to the power 21. Here on multiplication we will get the value 1.2044 into 10 to the power 22. So this is the total number of protons present in 34 milligram ammonia. So the next part of question is we have to calculate the total mass of proton. So total mass of proton in 34 milligram ammonia will be equal to mass of one proton multiplied by total number of proton. So in the question it is given that mass of proton is 1.6726 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg and number of proton is 1.2044 into 10 to the power 22. On multiplication we will get 2.0145 into 10 to the power minus 5 kg. Now further one question is there, sub question in this question, that whether this mass will be affected by temperature and pressure. Then the answer will be temperature and pressure never affects the number of protons and number of neutrons present in the nucleus. Hence there will be no effect of temperature and pressure on mass of 34 milligram ammonia. If there is no effect of temperature and pressure on mass, so there will be no effect on the mass of proton also. There will be no effect on the mass of neutron. Mass of any substance is independent of temperature and pressure. In question number 3, this is question number 3. In this question we have to calculate number of neutrons in all these elements. Then number of neutrons equals to number of neutron will be equal to Z. Z is mass number minus proton, number of protons, atomic number. This is atomic number. Total number of protons present in an atom is known as its atomic number. So mass number minus atomic number will be number of neutron. Now we'll apply this formula in all these atoms. So starting with 13C, number of neutrons will be N, 13 minus 6, that will be equal to 7. In this question, Z is 16, this is Z and this one is atomic number. So number of neutron will be 16 minus 8 equals to 8. In magnesium, number of neutron will be mass number 24 minus atomic number 12. This will be equal to 12. In case of iron, number of neutron N will be mass number 56 minus atomic number 26, and this will be equal to 27. 30. This will be equal to 30. Now in case of strontium, number of neutron will be mass number is 88 minus 38, and this will be equal to 50. So if we subtract the atomic number in mass number, we can calculate the total number of neutrons present in atom. In question number 1, we are having atomic number, mass number. Here A is mass number and Z is atomic number, and with the help of this information we have to write the symbol of any element. Then the symbol, for the symbol general formula is we write A Z, or we can say if we write any element then it is expressed as above. On the upper subscript we write mass number on the left side, and on the lower subscript we write atomic number. This is the symbol of any element. So starting with this A35 is 35 mass number is of chlorine, so we'll write here symbol for chlorine Cl and mass number 35. Atomic number is 70. Second is Z92, atomic number is 92, so this one is for uranium. Mass number will write 233 and atomic number will write 92. This is isotope of uranium. Uranium exists in 235, 236 also. Now next one is Z4 and A9. So if we see the periodic table, hydrogen and boron, hydrogen 1, lithium 3, beryllium 4, boron 5. So here Z is given 4, means atomic number is 4, means definitely it is beryllium. So we'll write here beryllium, atomic number is 4 and mass number is 9. So this is the symbol of elements. From here you can calculate number of neutrons also by subtracting number of proton in mass number. In question number 5, we have certain information, wavelength is given, and with the help of this information we have to calculate frequency and wave number. We have a wave with a wavelength 580 nanometer. So through this question, this message is given to you that if we know the wavelength of any wave, we can calculate its frequency and wave number. So we know the formula or relationship between velocity of light and wavelength as well as frequency, and that relationship is velocity of light equals to frequency into wavelength of light. From here we can write frequency of light equals to velocity of light divided by wavelength of light. Velocity of light is a constant value in air or vacuum, and that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. And wavelength is given here 580 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter. If we solve this, then we'll get 5.17 into 10 to the power 14 second inverse. This second inverse is known as hertz. So we can write this 5.17 into 10 to the power 14 hertz. Now next is wave number. Wave number is inverse of wavelength. Wavelength already we have calculated here. 580 nanometer is given. To express this wave number in SI system, we have to convert nanometer into meter and to convert that, multiplication factor is 10 to the power minus 9. So here wave number will be equal to 1 by 580 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter. On solving this, we'll get 1.72 into 10 to the power 6 meter inverse. So this is the wave number. So we can see that if we know the wavelength of any wave, with this information we can calculate frequency as well as wave number of that wave. In question number 6, we have frequency is given and wavelength is given, and with the help of frequency and wavelength we have to calculate energy of photon. Then we have studied one equation, that energy of any photon according to Planck's quantum theory equals to h nu. Value of h, Planck's constant, is 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second, and frequency is given in the question, that is 3 into 10 to the power 15 second inverse or hertz. From here we can see that second will cancel out. This is second, this one is second inverse. Both will cancel out each other and will have unit of joule. And numerical value, on multiplying these two numerical value, will have 1.988 into 10 to the power minus 18 joule. Now in the next part of the question, instead of giving frequency, we have wavelength, that is 0.5 angstrom. So we know the relationship between frequency and wavelength, that is mu equals to c by lambda. C is constant, that is velocity of light. From here we can calculate frequency. So if we write the formula equals to h mu, in place of mu we can write c by lambda, h c by lambda. Value of Planck's constant is given 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second, and velocity of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter second inverse. From here second will cancel out, and wavelength is 0.5 angstrom, but here we have to write this wavelength in SI system, that is in meter, and for doing this multiplication factor is 10 to the power minus 10. So 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 10, if we divide by this value, we will get 3.98 into 10 to the power minus 15 joule. So this will be the energy when wavelength is given, and this will be the energy when frequency is given. So whether frequency is given or wavelength is given, we can calculate energy of photon. So in question number 7, we have time period 2 into 10 to the power minus 10 second, and with the help of this information we have to calculate wavelength lambda, frequency and wave number. We know the relationship frequency equals to 1 upon t, and this will be equal to 1 divided by 2 into 10 to the power minus 10 second. It will come into second inverse and will have 10 to the power 10 divided by 2 into second inverse. From here we can write 5 into 10 to the power 9 second inverse is a frequency. Now we have to calculate the lambda, and we know the relationship between frequency and lambda, that is mu equals to c by lambda. From here we can write lambda equals to c upon mu. Value of c is velocity of light, and this value is constant, 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. This value is constant in air and vacuum, but if we change the medium, the speed of light will change. So we are doing all calculation by assuming that there is air or vacuum. So 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second inverse, and frequency we have calculated 5 into 10 to the power 9 second inverse. You can see here units are cancel out, second inverse, we have only meter. This we can write mu equals to 6 into 10 to the power minus 2, sorry this is wavelength, minus 2 meter. 6 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. So the answer will be 6 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. This is wavelength. Now we have to calculate wave number. We know that wave number is indicated by mu bar. So mu bar will be equal to 1 upon lambda, and value of lambda we have determined, and which is 1 divided by 6 into 10 to the power minus 2, and this will be 1.66 into 10, and this will be around 16.6 meter inverse.